Check 1 2, check, check 1 2, check. Testing, testing 1 2. Check 1 2, check, check 1 2, check 1 2. One more time. Check 1 2, check, check 1 2. These seem like they're peaking. Check 1 2. Check, check, check.
Welcome, wrestling fans. We're here for ESD wrestling action between the Brandon Valley Lynx and the Huron Tigers. Face-offs are done, and we're about ready to get started with the girls' matches here. Waiting to hear at what weight class we're going to start off at here. The Brandon Valley Lynx bring back 3 state qualifiers from last year, while Huron has just had a qualifier and a place finisher. Looks like we're starting off at 100 pounds. It looks like we got Maya Shee from Huron versus Renoa Gabriel from Brandon Valley. And here we are with the handshake. Little feeling out from the two girls. Hand fighting going on. Neither girl is committed to an attack at this point. Both trying to feel each other out. There's a nice shot there by Gabriel. Nice counter by Maya. Another shot by Gabriel. Again, countered well by Shee. I would think another shot here by Gabriel will result in a stalling call. She's the only one that's given 2 valid attempts. .45 seconds left in the first period. Score still 0-0 here in a 100-pound girls match between Renoa Gabriel from Brandon Valley and Maya Shee from Huron. There's an attack now by Shee. Stopped by Gabriel. She's going to do a go behind, but did not score. 2 decent attacks by both girls, but countered well by their opponent. There's a half attempt by Shee. Now down to 10 seconds left. Looks like we're going to end the first period here. Score 0-0. And there we go. Start of the second period. She gets choice. She's going to defer. Gabriel's going to take down. Gabriel is set. She's good on top. Here we go. Second period starts. Quick stand up and escape by Gabriel. She now leads 1-0. Pretty defensive match so far. A lot of hand grabbing, hand fighting here. No real attempts in the second period. Referees telling the girls to pick it up. There's a shot by Shee. Stopped by Gabriel. She's now, she's got it over. Takedown and getting near fall for sure. Looking for the fall. Good defense by Shee. Did not give up the fall here. Gabriel now is coming back. The reverse half. Looking to grab the head here. For sure, she's got 4 near fall. Gabriel looking for the fall. She's up 4-0 with another 4 points. There's the pin. Secondary pin. At 3:23. Brandon Valley's Renoa Gabriel wins by fall over Maya Shee of Huron. That'll give the Lynx 6 points off the first match, so the Lynx lead 6-0 after one match. That now brings us to the 105-pound match. Just waiting to see who's wrestling. From Brandon Valley, we got Shaylee Arredondo. And from Huron, we got Snow Wah. Again, the 105-pound match just starting here in the first period. Brandon Valley leads the duel after one match, 6-0. There's an in on a leg for Arredondo. And there she finishes it for a 3-point takedown. Now she's got that crossface. Looks like she's trying to, well, she gave it up. Now she's got it broke down on the mat. Arredondo looking for pinning combinations. So far, looks like she's got a wing hooked up. A little loose though. Good defense by Wah. Snow Wah. Under a minute now in the first period. Brandon Valley Shaylee Arredondo leads 3-0 over Snow Wah. She's got it on her back now. Guaranteed 4 near fall, and there's a fall. There's another pin for Brandon Valley Lynx. In a minute 24, Shaylee Arredondo over Snow Wah. That now brings the team total to 12 for Brandon Valley. Huron still at 0 after 2 matches. Now we're on to the 110-pound weight class. We're going to have Gracie Peters from Brandon Valley. Again, waiting to get the Huron here. Sorry about that. We got Charlie Saw from Huron. Again, Gracie Peters from Brandon Valley taking on Charlie Saw from Huron. Gracie Peters was a state qualifier last year for Brandon Valley. And if I'm correct, Charlie Saw got 7th last year at the state tournament. So this is probably the only matchup of 2 returning state qualifiers or place finishers in tonight's duel. Score remains 0-0, 30 seconds into the match. We're still in the neutral position. There's a shot by Peters. Nice defense by Charlie Saw. That's Huron's first points of any match in the first 3 here. Charlie Saw leads 3-0 over Gracie Peters here in our 110-pound weight class. Still on the edge of the mat, but they're still in the circle, so we're still wrestling within the cylinder. Down to 45 seconds. We got a crossface here by Charlie Saw. Saw doing a very good job of keeping Peters down. Peters hasn't really threatened to get out or get away yet at this point. Approaching the 15 seconds left in the first period. Charlie Saw of Huron leads 3-0 over Gracie Peters of Brandon Valley. There's a stand up by Peters. Looking for a headlock. Short time. She does get her escape though. That's a 1-point escape. Closes the gap 3-1 after 1 period here. Again, Charlie Saw of Huron leads 3-1 over Gracie Peters of Brandon Valley. Saw defers. Peters is going to take down, it looks like, as we start the second period here shortly. Saw on top. Period goes. Good breakdown by Saw. Looks like she's got a wing hooked up. Starting to drive on that. Saw is being patient here, not to overcompensate. Now it's loosening up. Now Peters, good job by Peters. Now almost with a chin drop. Again, we're in the 110-pound weight class. Third bout of the night for our Brandon Valley and Huron girls duel. Brandon Valley leads the duel 12-0 after 2 matches. Approaching a minute in the second period. Saw still leads 3-1 over Peters of Brandon Valley. Now Peters is getting to her feet. Looks like she's going to escape, so now she's cut it down to a 1-point match. That's a 3-point takedown for Saw and 2 escapes for Peters to make the match 3-2. They go out of bounds. 46 seconds left in the second period. Saw leads 3-2 over Peters. Peters is being aggressive here. Got a collar tie. Both girls are fighting. Looks like we're about out of bounds. Peters still has a foot in, so we're still going. Out of bounds. 18 seconds left. Charlie Saw of Huron leads 3-2 over Gracie Peters in this 110 weight class match. Scores. There's the stalling call on Saw. Peters definitely being the aggressor here. Tries a headlock, but now Saw with the body lock. We got 8 seconds left. Are we going to have a takedown? It's very, very close. They're on the mat, but nobody's gained control. Time runs out. No score. And that's where we'll finish the second period. 3-2 with Saw leading Peters. Saw's choice in the third final period. Huron coach brings the referee over to ask for clarification on the call. No change. Saw's choice. Looks like Saw's going to take neutral. 1-point match here. Start of the third period. Peters is starting to pick up momentum. However, Saw is always in good position. Hasn't really allowed Peters to get any offensive going so far in the match. Still no shot attempts. Bunch of collar ties and hand fighting so far in this third and final period. Saw looking to pick up Huron's first win of the night. Peters is looking to keep the streak going for Brandon Valley. 3-2, Saw over Peters right now. Approaching a minute left in the third and final period. No girl has taken a valid shot attempt in this third period. Now down to a minute. Saw does have a stalling call against her, so one more of those will tie up the match. Saw's now in on a leg. Peters grabbed the head. Now she gets the takedown, and looks like she's got a good chance for the fall. 3 takedown for sure, and there's the pin for Brandon Valley, Gracie Peters. That's now 3 pins in a row for the Brandon Valley girls. They up their lead after 3 matches to 18-0 over Huron. Peters' gas tank appeared a little bit better, and that's what ended up helping her out in the last period. Now we're on to 115. Looks like we had a forfeit for Huron at 115 pounds, which will give them 6 points. Sorry, I'm not quite sure who. I think it was Vanessa Erdman. That'll give team score now 18-6 after 4 bouts. Now we're on to 120, where we got Reva McGaw from Huron. Oops, switch the name here. Alishka Oya Rodriguez from Huron versus Leah Nelson from Brandon Valley. Again, this is the 120-pound weight class. Leah Nelson from Brandon Valley versus Alishka Oya Rodriguez. In the first period, 30 seconds in, score still 0-0. Each girl's feeling each other out, trying to set up a shot attempt. There's a half shot there by Reshka. Nelson's on the fighting, gets the takedown. Nice counter by Nelson from Brandon Valley. Gives her a 3-0 lead with 36 seconds left in the first period. Oh. We had a roll here by Orla Rodriguez. Almost got out, but good defense by Nelson. Approaching the 10-second mark, Nelson leads 3-0 over Orla Rodriguez. And that's how we're going to finish the first period. Brandon Valley leading 3-0 in this bout. Again, the team score is Brandon Valley 18, Huron 6. Brandon Valley with 3 falls in the first 3 matches. Huron won the last match by forfeit. Nelson chooses neutral in the second period, and here we are, back to our feet. Shot attempt by Nelson. Orla Rodriguez. Nelson countering. Very similar to the first takedown in the first period here. Nelson gets the 3 takedown. Now increases her lead to 6-0. Nelson throwing the legs in. Now she's got Orla Rodriguez flat on the mat. Looks like she's fighting for a power half here. She's getting close. Now she's turning her hips. There we go. It looks like, oh, good defense here, but Nelson's resetting, and now she's getting near fall. And that'll be a guaranteed 4 near fall for Nelson. She got the 4 swipes. Resetting here, looking for the fall. Referee hops over to see if he's got a better angle. Nice job of fighting here by Ola Rodriguez. Nelson keeps trying to reset, trying to find a way to get her. Flat on the mat. Ola Rodriguez with a nice bridge here, fighting. And that will end the second period. 4 near fall, which gives Nelson of Brandon Valley a 10-0 lead after 2 periods over Ola Rodriguez of Huron. Ola Rodriguez chooses top to start the third period. Nelson is down, and here we go. Ola Rodriguez working the crossface. Nelson's grabbed her arm, trying to pull it down as she's working her way up, controlling her wrist. Ola Rodriguez resets, gets completely behind her. Now Ola Rodriguez flattens Nelson. 30 seconds into the third period. Nelson leads 10-0. Ola Rodriguez is driving here. Looking for a cheap dump. Nice defense by Nelson. Now we got stalling on Nelson. That is her first stall, so no points awarded yet. However, if that happens again, that'll be a point for her. Now Nelson's out for a 1-point escape, ups her lead to 11-0. 45 seconds left in the match. Leah Nelson of Brandon Valley leads Alishka Ola Rodriguez 11-0. Shot attempt again by Ola Rodriguez, however countered well by Nelson. This will be Nelson's third takedown, countering Ola Rodriguez's shots. Now it's 14-0. 1 point away from a tech fall. We are down to 17 seconds left. Nelson leads 14-0. Guaranteed major at this point. Looking, oh, we got a headlock. Short period of time for Ola Rodriguez. Time. That would be a 2 reversal and 4 near fall for Ola Rodriguez. However, a little bit too late. Makes the score 14-6. Still a major decision for Nelson, and that will be 4 team points. Brandon Valley now leads 22-6 over Huron after 6 bouts. Now we're on to a 125-pound weight class. At 125, we got Mubise from Huron and Mikhail Parker. Sorry about that. Mubise on a takedown attempt here. She's on a leg, trying to cut the corner. Nice defense by Parker. Again, we're in the 125-pound weight class. We have Michael Parker from Brandon Valley versus Mubise from Huron. Parker keeps countering. Mubise still holding on to the leg. Now coming out the back door. Now she's out the side. It looks like she got around for a 3-point takedown for Mubise of Huron over Michael Parker of Brandon Valley. Just under a minute here in our first period in our 125-pound match. We say working the half. She has now got Parker on her back, looking for the fall. And there is the fall for Huron. Mubi Say with the fall at 1:30 over Michael Parker. That'll be 6 points for Huron. Scores now Brandon Valley 22, Huron 12. Now we're at 1:30. For Brandon Valley, we got Brenna Recker. And for Huron, we got Ikushi. Shot by Ikushi. Recker is sprawled out. Now looking to get the goal behind. There she goes. Went right to the crossface. She's got the 3-point takedown. Looking to control this Butcher. Nice defense by Ikushi. Ikushi to her feet. Recker now returns to the mat out of bounds. Back to the center will go. 57 seconds left in the first period. Brenna Recker leads 3-0 over Ikushi of Huron. Again, the team score is Brandon Valley 22, Huron 12. Out of bounds again. Recker is going to be called for stalling for no attempt to return to the mat. Recker on top. Here, whistle blows. Recker looking for the crossface cradle. She's got that far side cradle. Looks like she's almost got it hooked up, but very good job by Ikushi stopping it. She's now flattened out. Recker resetting. 20 seconds left in the first period. Ikushi back to her feet, but returned quickly by Recker. We will end the first period with Recker leading 3-0 over Ikushi of Huron. Huron defers. Recker's going to take down as we start the second period. Again, we are in the 130-pound weight class with Brenna Recker of Brandon Valley leading 3-0 over Ikushi of Huron. Recker's got her hips over, but then gets her head away and now gets the 2-point reversal. And getting near fall at the same time. Recker leads 5-0, guaranteed for near fall as Ikushi continues to bridge hard and fight off being pinned. Recker trying to reset, and there she gets the pin. That's a fall for Brenna Recker at 2:36, giving Brandon Valley 6 additional team points. Score now Brandon Valley 28, Huron 12 after the 130-pound weight class. At 1:35, Kendall Clayton of Brandon Valley receives a forfeit for another 16 points. That will move us to the 140-pound weight class. £140-pound weight class. So at 140, we have Ball Law from Huron wrestling Grace Carson of Brandon Valley. There's a quick takedown by Carson as she's getting near fall at the same time, looking for a pin, and that's a quick one. 21 seconds for Carson. Of Huron. Brandon Valley girls now lead 40-12 over Huron. Move our way to the 145-pound weight class. Looks like we might have a double forfeit here at 145. Just waiting this. And that's what we have, a double forfeit at 145, which will move us to the 155-pound weight class. Looks like we might have another forfeit here. And we do. Brandon Valley's Lariana Mora Robles with a forfeit. Makes the score 46-12, Brandon Valley. Now we move to 170. We got Lillian Hammer from Brandon Valley versus Lana Sherry of Huron. So again, we had a double forfeit at 145. No team point scored for either team, and then we had a forfeit for Brandon Valley at 155, which moves us to the 170-pound match. Lillian Hamner of Brandon Valley taking on Lana Sherry of Huron. Shot attempt there by Sherry. However, Hamner stopped her. Pushing the head down and looking to turn the corner. Now she reaches over and grabs the leg. She's going to need to break that grip if she wants to get the takedown, and there she does. 3-point takedown for Hamner. Hamner now to the side, controlling both wrists. Coach Outland yelling instructions to her. Sherry fairly flat on the mat. Hamner looking to find some near fall here. Sherry back to her base. 30 seconds left in the first period. Hamner, Brandon Valley leading 3-0 over Sherry of Huron. Now Hamner with the butcher. Now circling the head. Hamner, Sherry back to her base. Hold is broke. Going to finish this period out with a 3-0 lead for Lillian Hamner of Brandon Valley and her 170-pound weight class. Start of the second period. Hamner's choice. Oh. We got injury time here. So just to recap the duel so far, Brandon Valley leads 46-12 over Huron. Brandon Valley started off with 3 straight pins to get an 18-0 lead, followed by Huron forfeit to cut the lead to 18-6. Then there was a major decision by Nelson at 120 to give Brandon Valley another 4 points at that point, followed by Mubishay of Huron with the pin at 125. Recker then picked up a pin for Brandon Valley at 130, followed by a forfeit and another pin for Brandon Valley, given straight 18 points. We had a double forfeit at 145. At 155, we had Brandon Valley won by forfeit. And now we're on to the 170-pound match. Hamner starts out the bottom. Sherry being aggressive at breaking her down. Trying for a crossface. Nelson, Hamner holding on to her wrists. Looks like Sherry's looking for far side cradle. Sherry being very physical on top. Doing a good job of keeping Hamner down on the mat. Again, Hamner still leads 3-0. She is on bottom here in the second period, approaching the 1 minute mark in the second period. Attempt to stand up by Hamner, quickly returned back to the mat by Sherry of Huron. Sherry now breaks Hamner down to the mat. She's flat. .30 seconds left in the second period. Hamner, Brandon Valley leads 3-0 over Sherry of Huron. Now trying for a half Nelson here. No luck. And that ends the second period. No score in that second period by either wrestler. Still 3-0 for Hamner. Sherry takes top. Hamner's now set on the bottom. Sherry is now approaching on top. Set, and there we go. Start of the third period here. Again, Lillian Hamner of Brandon Valley leads this 170-pound match. Well, she just got an escape, so it's now 4-0 for Hamner. Now looks like Hamner's got a headlock hooked up, and she's got the takedown, and she's got it tight, and there is the fall. Another fall for Brandon Valley at the 420 mark. Lillian Hamner beats Lana Sherry from Huron. Team total now, Brandon Valley 52, Huron 12. With only 2 weight classes, this is going to be a sizable win for Brandon Valley. And that'll be a forfeit for Sally Beal here at the 190-pound weight class for another 6 points for Brandon Valley. And at 235, it looks like Maddie Haas from Brandon Valley is also going to get the forfeit. And there's our duel, ladies and gentlemen. 64-12, Brandon Valley beats their ESD foe, the Huron Tigers. And that concludes the girls' match, the duel. Sounds like we're going to take a 15-minute break, and then we will be on with boys' action. We will be on at that point. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Those who watch the girls watch Brandon Valley Lynx win 64-12 over the Huron Tigers. And now we are getting on our way to start the boys' matches. Face-offs are done, and we're going to start off at the 106-pound weight class. And it looks like we have Jager Rehorse of Brandon Valley versus Tucker Lean of Huron. Change that. They say it's Noah Hofer. Both wrestlers circling around. Hand fighting. There's a shot by Rehorse. That'll be a takedown for Rehorse. 3-0. Rehorse leads 30 seconds into the first period in our 106-pound weight class here. Quick stand up and escape for Hofer. Cuts lead 3-1 now. Rehorse with the shot fake there. Followed up by Rehorse with a fake. There's a shot attempt by Hofer. Stopped quickly by Rehorse. A lot of wrist and hand fighting here. Hofer controlling Rehorse's elbow. Rehorse able to get it away, but he's back on his wrist. Here's another half attempt by Hofer, but he now was able to pick up the leg. He's got the single leg picked up and now finishes for a 3-point takedown. Hofer now takes the lead 4-1 over Rehorse with 20 seconds left in the first period. Now he's looking for a roll through tilt, and he's going to get near fall. I believe that's only going to be 3 swipes. Still holding the wrist, so points haven't been awarded yet as we finish out this first period, and that is 3 near fall. No, 4, excuse me, for Hofer. So now the score is 8-3 in favor of Hofer of Huron over Rehorse of Brandon Valley. We're going to start the second period back in neutral. Rehorse is being a little more aggressive here. However, Hofer's doing a good job of controlling his hands and wrists. Again, he's back onto a wrist with the elbow control. There's a shot by Rehorse. Counter by Hofer. Right on the edge of the mat. Hofer's got a foot in there, and now he goes out. Back to the center. Minute 26 left in the second period. Noah Hofer leads Jager Rehorse 8-3. Again, this is our first match of the night in the boys' competition. A lot of hand fighting here again. Hofer's doing a good job of controlling the hands and wrists. Back in on a single. He's got the leg off the mat. Looking to finish. Stopped initially by Rehorse. Now he half pick up. Leg in, runs the pipe for a 3-point takedown. Now 11-3 in favor of Noah Hofer of Huron. Now Hofer running a half here on Rehorse. And the fall for Noah Hofer of Huron over Jager Rehorse of Brandon Valley at 3:36. That'll give Huron the lead to start off the duel, 6-0. Now we're on to 113 pounds. We got Isaac Weirheim of Brandon Valley versus Carter Nelson of Huron. Both these wrestlers were state qualifiers last year. Be one of two potential matchups between state qualifiers. Again, Huron got a fall in the first match at 106 pounds. Let's get a 6-0 team lead over Brandon Valley. There's a shot by Weirheim. Stopped quickly by Nelson. Shot a little far away. Easy defense. Weirheim doing a good job controlling center. Shot by Nelson. Single, then switch to a double. Probably a little too quickly. Was able to be stopped by Weirheim. There's another shot attempt by Nelson. Nelson's taking some decent shots, but needs to be a little closer to finish them. There's a shot attempt again. Stopped quickly by Weirheim. 40 seconds left in the first period here. Score remains scoreless, 0-0. Isaac Weirheim versus Carter Nelson. Yep. There's another shot by Nelson to get a stall call on Weirheim. However, that's his first, and then Weirheim counters for a single, back to a takedown here with 16 seconds left. Nice counter reattack there by Isaac Weirheim. He now leads 3-0 as we almost finish the first period here. And that ends the period. Nelson defers from Huron. Weirheim's choice. He's going to choose down as we start the second period. Again, Huron leads the team's score 6-0 after one match. Nice breakdown by Nelson. Got the arm chop. He's got the far wrist here, cross wrist. Looks like he's trying to set up a tilt here. Now he's got the wing in. Let's go of the cross wrist, and now looking for cause a double chicken wing here. Pulling back. Going to be close here for Weirheim. Keeps circling. Wow. Nelson drops down on the leg. Weirheim sprawling. Crossface himself and gets a reversal. Need to fix a headgear. Isaac Weirheim with the 2-point reversal now leads 5-0 over Carter Nelson. Reset with Nelson going down. Just over a minute left in the second period. Weirheim on top, and here we go. Weirheim rolling the wrist. Push pressure forward. Now. Weirheim kind of mixing it up here on top. Now he's got the cross wrist. Weirheim reaching between the legs, looking for a potential tilt. Nelson breaks his grip. Approaching 15 seconds left in the match. Nelson doing a good, Weirheim doing a good job riding here. Controlling both wrists. Now with a half. Down to 5 seconds left. And that's how we'll end the second period. Isaac Weirheim of Brandon Valley leads 5-0 over Carter Nelson of Huron. Nelson of Huron chooses neutral. Again, Weirheim does have a stall call against him. There's a shot attempt by Nelson. Got the single leg picked up. Weirheim doing a pretty good job of pushing the head down with the whizzer. Now he's got him broke down, but Nelson keeps fighting, and there's a good counter. Go behind there by Weirheim. Nice hip drop there by Weirheim to get the takedown. He's now leading 8-0. Weirheim looking for a near side cradle. Broke now, he's back on top riding. Nelson on the tripod, broke down. Weirheim's got one leg in. Nelson set the hip. Weirheim scooting. Swim that shoulder almost for Nelson for out, but Weirheim resets. Now we're getting a possible cradle attempt, and broke quickly. Under 30 seconds now. Isaac Weirheim leads 8-0 over Carter Nelson of Huron. Now he's doing a power half here. Oh, getting a little off to the side too much. Nelson almost out. Weirheim does a good job of going back down the leg. Finish the match here, 8-0 for a major decision. That'll be 4 team points for Brandon Valley as they cut Huron's lead from 6-0 to 6-4. We are now split 1-1 on matches. And now we're on to 120 pounds. Huron sending out Kadrian Moreno versus Brendan Omi of Brandon Valley. Omi was state runner-up last year. Omi's just a junior, but already three-time state finalist and a state champ here a couple years ago. Quick takedown for Omi, up 3-0. Omi putting the claw in. Almost with chin drop here. Now it looks like he's going to cut him. One escape for Moreno. 3-1, Omi leads. Quick shot by Omi with another takedown. Now 6-1, just under a minute left in the first period at our 120-pound weight class. And he's getting a quick tilt with just a 1 count. There's a 2 swipes for 2 near fall. Now 8-1 for Omi. Approaching 20 seconds left in the match. Omi looks content just to hold him down here. Short time left in the first. And that's how we'll end the first period. Brendan Omi leads, Brandon Valley leads 8-1 over Kadrian Moreno of Huron. Moreno's choice, he chooses neutral. Another ankle pick attempt there by Omi. Little struggle there with Omi just overpowering Moreno for another takedown, up 11-1. Omi going to cut him here. 11-2. Omi being very aggressive here. Got a front headlock, quick takedown, go behind there. Pretty much uncontested at that point. Omi's going to cut him again. He's up 14-3 now. And shot out of bounds. And Moreno gets dinged for stalling. Failed to attempt to circle back in. 56 seconds left in the second period. Another Moreno with underhooked. And there's a headlock by Omi. And a quick pin. That's a fall for Brendan Omi at 3:19. Gives Brandon Valley 16 points. Brandon Valley now takes the lead in the team score, 10-6 over Huron. Now we're off to our 126-pound match. Looks like it's going to be a forfeit for Brandon Valley's Beckett Rehorse. That'll up Brandon Valley's lead to 16-6. Now we'll move on to 132 pounds. Just waiting for the wrestlers to check in to see who's wrestling here. Looks like we will have at 132 pounds, we have Roman Anderson of Brandon Valley versus Stephen Martins of Huron. Anderson was a state qualifier last year. Looking to improve upon that this year. Out of bounds we go. And there's a nice single leg attempt there by Anderson. Leg off the mat. Nice. Take down here, quick escape. 3-1 in favor of Anderson and Brandon Valley. Another attempt to a single. Switching off to a double. Now body lock. And there's a toss, but takedown here as we go out of bounds. 3 takedown for Anderson. He leads 6-1 at 1:04 of the first period over Stephen Martins of Huron. Crossface here by Anderson. On the edge of the mat here, but we're still in bounds. And that butcher rolls him over. It looks like a 2 near fall. Anderson increases his lead to 8-1. Out of bounds we go. 28 seconds left of the first period. Roman Anderson of Brandon Valley leads 6-1 over Stephen Martins of Huron. Again, the team score is Brandon Valley 16, Huron 6. Anderson on top, whistle blows. Again. Anderson now here working on a, looks like a butcher. And he's going to get, again, near fall. almost changed into a headlock, but Martins was able to roll out of it for 3 near fall. So now it is 11-1 after the first period. Roman Anderson leads 11-1 over Stephen Martins of Huron. Start of the second period. Anderson chooses neutral. Over-unders here. Look like a Metzger for Anderson. Another takedown, 14-1. He leads quickly into the second period. Now with the cradle hooked up. That's 3 near fall, and that leads to a tech fall for Anderson. 17-1 in the second period. There'll be 5 more team points. Brandon Valley leads 21-6 after the 132-pound match. Now we're off to 138. At 138, we have Braylon Bach of Brandon Valley versus Brady Meyer of Huron. This is our second matchup of 2 state qualifiers. Quick takedown. Nice slide by Brady Meyer of Huron. Escape for Bach. It does it again. There's 2 takedowns quickly in the first 15 seconds. To his feet and out of bounds. Meyer leading 6-1 over Bach. Bach goes down. Meyer on top. We aren't even 30 seconds in the match. 6-1 in favor of Meyer of Huron. Nice breakdown for Meyer. Meyer working the wrist. Now he's got it across his back. Bach was able to get his arm back. Now he's got the cross wrist looking for the roll through tilt. Good stop by Bach. Meyer doing a good job of riding here and working for potential tilts. .20 seconds left in the period. Brady Meyer of Huron leads over Braylon Bach of Brandon Valley, 6-1. Meyer with 2 slide by here's for takedowns. Tries to roll through tilt. Bach rolls through. No near fall. And that ends the first period, 6-1 in favor of Meyer of Huron. Meyer deferred. Bach chooses neutral as we start the second period. Again, both these wrestlers were state qualifiers last year. However, Brady Meyer of Huron seems to be controlling the match. Almost for another slide by to a takedown. There it is. That's 3 takedowns now for Meyer. 9-1. Too near fall for Meyer here. Bach almost with an escape, but Meyer was able to counter and return him to the mat. Looks like Meyer has a leg Turk in. And now want to cross the throat and is looking for near fall. He's got a one swipe, and now he's got for sure near fall. 4 near fall here for sure. Still at least 50 seconds left in the second period. And that's 4 near fall. Increases the lead to 15-1. Meyer controlling the arms here. However, Bach was able to get out. Bach now to a tripod. Broken back down by Meyer. 10 seconds left in the second period. And that's into the second period. 15-1. Brady Meyer leads Braylon Bach. Meyer's taking down. Meyer set. Bach is on top. Meyer only leads 1 more point for the tech fall. Nice breakdown there by Bach. Meyer to his feet. Nice lift and return by Bach on the edge of the mat. But we're still wrestling as we are still within the cylinder. On the edge of the mat. Out of bounds. Minute 11 left in the third period. Meyer choosing down, however, he's up 15-1 over Braylon Bach of Brandon Valley. No roll first move up the whistle. Meyer back to his feet. Now with a switch. And there is the reversal. 2-point reversal for the technical fall. 17-1 decision. Technical fall for Brady Meyer of Huron over Braylon Bach of Brandon Valley. That'll give Huron 5 team points. Score is now 21-11. Aaron Tucker with the forfeit at 144. Same thing at 150 for Brandon Valley's Braden Shoemaker, another forfeit. Each forfeit is worth 16 points. As we move on to the 157-pound weight class. At 157, we have Braden Shoemaker of Brandon Valley versus Tegan Lean of Huron. After those 2 consecutive forfeits, Brandon Valley leads Huron 33-11. No real attempts on her feet so far in the first minute. Be the wrestler. Now we're out of bounds. We got blood time here for Huron. So just a little recap during this blood time. Again, Brandon Valley is leading 33-11 over Huron. In the 106-pound match, Noah Holfer won by fall of Huron over Jagger Rehorse of Brandon Valley to give Huron 16 points. 113 was followed up by Isaac Weirheim of Brandon Valley, major decisioning Carter Nelson. At 120, Brandon Valley's Brendan Nomi won by fall over Cadrian Moreno of Huron. At 126, Beckett Rehorse received a forfeit for Brandon Valley. At 132, Roman Anderson wins by tech fall over Stephen Martins of Huron. At 138, Brady Myers of Huron wins by tech fall over Braylon Bach of Brandon Valley. At 144, Aaron Tucker received a forfeit. At 150, Aiden Schrant of Brandon Valley received a forfeit. And now we're on a 157-pound match where Braden Shoemaker just got a takedown and a nice return on that stand-up by Lean. 20 seconds left in the 157-pound match. Braden Shoemaker leads 3-0. Braden Shoemaker took fourth last year at state. Again, we got blood time again for Lean of Huron. All right. What time is done? Lean of Huron goes down. 15 seconds left in the first period. Braden Shoemaker leading 3-0. Shoemaker on top. Whistle blows. Nice breakdown. And that's how we end the first period. Braden Shoemaker of Brandon Valley leading 3-0 over Tegan Lean. Shoemaker goes down. Lean on top. Shoemaker now to his feet with a quick escape. Increases his lead to 4-0. Nice single leg there. Setting the hip there. The Shoemaker. And now he's got the arm hooked up, looking to switch off to a headlock. For near fall for sure. Shoemaker looking for the fall. Lean doing a great job of fighting. Back to his base. That's 4 near fall. The Shoemaker. Lead now 11-0. Shoemaker looking for the roll through tilt. He's going to get it. That'll be another 4 near fall for sure. And that'll be the match. 15-0. Braden Shoemaker beats Tegan Lean of Huron. And that now increases Brandon Valley's lead, 38-11 over Huron. Now we move on to the 165-pound weight class. You got Harmon Kramer of Brandon Valley versus Aiden Earhart of Huron. There's a quick, good takedown by Kramer. Dangerous position for Kramer. However, he was able to hold him there for 2 swipes, for 2 near fall. Now 5-0. Under 30 seconds now in the first period. Harmon Kramer. Again, the half, Nelson to near fall. Leads 5-0 for sure. 4. And there's a pin. Nice pin there for Harmon Kramer. In 1:49. 6 more team points for Brandon Valley. Now 44-11. Now we're at 175. Levi Breskerna of Brandon Valley versus Uriah Cardona of Huron. Takedown for Breskerna. Gonna let him go. A 3-1 lead for Breskerna. Quick takedown and intentional escape. Another takedown. And he's getting near fall. Cardona's out of bounds, but Breskerna kept his foot in the cylinder. And that's 3 near fall for Breskerna. 9-1 now. Intentionally let's go as they go back to the center. 9-2. High crotch for Breskerna. Now set the leg. Takedown. And escape, out of bounds. Minute into the match. Breskerna leads 12-3 over Cardona of Huron. Pretty tough weight for an 8th grader to be at. Breskerna back in on high crotch. Now with a takedown, 15-3, 26 seconds left. Vanessa now with a nice dump there to his back. Short time here. Cardona doing a good job fighting. Fall, 2 seconds left. Minute 58 fall for Levi Veskrina. That'll be 6 more points. Brandon Valley now leads 50-11. Now we're off to 190 pounds. And that's a forfeit for Adisio Ahmed of Brandon Valley. Move on to 215 pounds. Now we have at 215, Cody Lindenkugel from Brandon Valley versus Ben Cardona of Huron. Lindenkugel was a state qualifier last year. Almost in the minutes in the match. No score at this time. Neither wrestler taking much attempts. Team score, Brandon Valley 56, Huron 11. Approaching 30 seconds in the match, still 0-0 between Lindenkugel of Brandon Valley and Cardona of Huron. A lot of pushing, a lot of hand fighting, but no real shot attempts. And we end the period 0-0. Brandon Valley's choice, defers. Huron's going neutral. See if either wrestler can open it up a little bit here. There's a nice shot by Lindenkugel, 3-0. He now leads. Nice quick takedown for Lindenkugel. Tripod for Cardona. Still got his hands on the mat. Now he comes up, looking to break Lindekugel's grip. Lindenkugel half attempt there. Escape for Cardona. Now 3-1. Out of bounds we go. Lindenkugel had a nice takedown earlier in the period. Shot attempt by Cardona. Stop by Lindenkugel. Cardona keeps driving. Lindenkugel's now stopped him. Now looking for the go behind. He's behind him, but he hasn't got return on the mat. Cardona's able to break the grip. No score. There's a nice takedown right there by Lindenkugel. Shot right back in low, and now 6-1 in favor of Lindenkugel. Lindenkugel's going to let him go. 26 seconds left in the second period. Score 6-2 in favor of Linda Kugel, Brandon Valley. It'll be Linda Kugel's choice here in the third. Same thing, low double for a takedown with 1 second left on the period. Linda Kugel now increases his lead to 9-2. And he chooses neutral to start the third. I think Linda Kugel's found something here. Half attempt there this time though. No luck. Cardona now with the underhook. Oh, half attempt headlock there by Linda Kugel, no go. Cardona counters with a takedown and an escape as they go out of bounds. So now we're looking at 10-5 in favor of Linda Kugel. Here we go. Minute 30 left in the match. Linda Kugel leads 10-5 over Cardona. Shot there by Cardona. Back to an underhook. A little bit of action there, but no takedown. Linda Kugel goes back down to the low double for takedown. Now 13-5. Potentially dangerous. 50 seconds left in the match. Cardona will go back down. Linda Kugel on top now. Whistle. Let him go. 13-6. Linda Kugel still in the lead. 35 seconds left. Cardona's going for the over-unders. Potential throw. Nice duck under for Linda Kugel. Another takedown. 16-6 his lead now is with 20 seconds left in the match. Another escape. 5 seconds left. 16-7 in favor of Linda Kugel. Cardona goes for a throw but gets caught. Three-point takedown for Linda Kugel to finish the match. 19-7, major decision. It is now 60-11 in favor of Brandon Valley over Huron as we go to our final match. And it looks like Huron's going to forfeit to our returning state champ, Elijah Shunke. Shunke with the forfeit. Brandon Valley wins the duel over Huron, 66-11. Good night for Lynx Wrestling, both the boys and the girls with decisive wins over the Huron Tigers. Thank you for coming. Just as a reminder, the girls' Lynx invite is tomorrow here at the high school, and the boys will have their tournament on Saturday. See you then. Bye.